Hey, good afternoon, YouTubers, Facebookers, party people alike. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this is the Clay Way. So, hopefully the video is successful for you and helpful, so you'll give me a subscription and you'll click the notifications. You're more than welcome to share my videos. If you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook under Clay's AC and Auto Repair. Remember, if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. And you can't break what's already broken. So we're going to try to show you how to repair something versus replacing it. It's a common problem with Chevrolet, General Motors, automobiles to have bad window switches going up and down. I'm going to take the switch out, take it apart, show you what it looks like, what we're looking for, and some ways that you can possibly fix it without spending 40, 55 bucks, how much ever these things cost, and repair it and save yourself a couple dollars. Okay, so the first thing I need to point out, most of these newer generation General Motors, the switches are interchangeable. So like you could take a back switch and put it in the front, blah, blah, blah. So if you can't get it repaired, at the very least, you can take one out of the back door, put it in the front door, they're identical. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a screwdriver, we can pop it down inside there, and then that'll pop right out of there. And I can't do it really on camera. And if you have this trim tab comes off, and there's two screws located behind it. They're 10mm screws. You'll pull that off, and then that handle will come off, and then that'll pop right out of there. So to remove the switch, we're just going to take a little screwdriver. We'll pry back on this and pull up on that at the same time. I need two hands to be able to do it, but there's 4 little clips on the outside. Okay, so now we're going to start the disassembly of the switch, and we're going to have to pry up on these 4 tabs, just like the way we took it out, and separate the base from the bottom. And imagine once we get inside there, we're just going to find that there's a little bit of corrosion on there, allowing the contacts not to contact one another. Obviously, we know we can replace this switch. And guys that get all weird, and I've gotten messages in the past when I took electronics apart, how they're saying I wasn't grounded out. Listen, it's already broken, people. You can't break it anymore. I mean, worst thing you can do is have to replace it. Now we've got the switch disassembled, we can see how it functions. One of these little pushies will push on the back, and one pushes on the front. And we can take this little cover off of here. And there's not a whole lot we can do inside here, with the exception of cleaning up these tabs. We can also look at this and see if it's worn down. We could possibly maybe put like a little piece of glue on there, something hard, or maybe a piece of tape, to give it a little bit more oomph when it's pushing down on this micro switch. Now, on the opposite side of the little rubber piece, we see that there's little contacts. And what the contacts do is when they're pushed, they bridge these 2 parts and make them one. So what I'm assuming is happening is the metal isn't contacting this metal correctly. So not putting tape in there is probably a good idea, because we need these metal contacts to actually contact that. But you could make sure that if you're gonna put some tape in there to give it a little bit more squishy power, you do it on the opposite side of this, which will be fine because this is a rubber isolator. Before we put any tape on there, and I'm probably gonna put tape on there because I don't think it'll hurt anything, it can just give it more pushing power. We're gonna take a Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol and clean that up a little bit. And I think once we clean it up, it should work just fine. Now I'm gonna use duct tape. And the reason I'm going to use duct tape is a little bit thicker. You got to remember, all we're trying to do is just add a little bit more thickness and a little bit more so this has a little bit more pressure to it. We want to make sure the little plungers are working the way that they're supposed to. Over the years, they've probably worn out and aren't pressing down quite as hard as they did originally. Now we're going to reassemble the switch and put it in and see if it works, which I'm pretty confident that it will. Okay. After closer examination, it actually wasn't that these were bad. That's what I'd found in the past, and if you've been working on cars for years, you kind of just assume certain things. But anyways, that's still very good information, so I left it in the video. If you look down here, I scraped away a little bit of the board. You see that copper's not contacting that copper. So what we're gonna do is, we've got some conductive tape right here. We're actually gonna fill in that piece. Now, of course, you could solder it. Couldn't find my soldering iron, looked for an hour this morning, didn't find it anywhere. So we're not going to solder it today. And anyways, I don't want to bridge over between them 2 parts for that one circuit. But I'm absolutely certain when we fix that, the switch will be fixed, and it actually costs us nothing. If you picked up some tape, or if you had some solder, you could go to the hardware store and it'll be out about $8 for a solder gun and some solder. So we're going to use this tape, put it on there, and I'm sure it'll work. Okay, so when you put your tape on there, make sure that it does not, try to get in there and do this, it does not contact any of this solder here, there, or there. So in my situation, I could have trimmed it back a little bit. I think I will before I put it back together. But this is some pretty sweet stuff, folks, so hopefully you find it enjoyable. Not everybody on the interwebs is doing the same old thing by changing tires and showing you how to do it. Clay's showing you how to do it the clay way, the cheap way. God bless you. Have a great day. Okay, so now we have our switch replaced and repaired. Back in there, it's working strong. That's great. You guys did a great job. I can't guarantee this will work for you guys, but it surely worked for me. God bless you guys. Please subscribe, click the notifications, share my videos with folks. Let my videos play if you want to give me a couple extra cents for helping you out. If you want to reach out to me, hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook. Remember, don't be the next to them, be the first to you, and if anybody else can fix it, you can too.